Dostan, welcome back to the channel. I'm Ajit Pratap, and today we're diving deep into a topic that many of you have asked about. A dream that combines travel, adventure, and a unique career path. Working on a cruise ship. Imagine waking up in a new country every few days, meeting people from all over the world, and being part of an industry that's all about creating unforgettable experiences. It sounds incredible, right? But like any worthwhile journey, it requires preparation, dedication, and a clear understanding of the steps involved. This isn't just about packing your bags and setting sail, it's about building a legitimate career at sea. Many of you might feel that a life at sea, working on these magnificent floating cities, is an unattainable dream, something reserved for a select few. But I'm here today to tell you that with the right information and a focused approach, it's more achievable than you think. We're going to break down every single requirement, every piece of documentation, and every step you need to take to turn this aspiration into a reality. This video is designed to be your ultimate guide, your compass, navigating you through the entire process, from initial thought to your first day on board. So grab a notebook, get comfortable, and let's embark on this informational voyage together. We'll cover everything from the essential documents like passports and seaman's books, to the necessary training, medical checks, and even tips for acing your interviews. My goal is to demystify the process, answer your burning questions, and empower you with the knowledge you need to confidently pursue a career on the high seas. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear roadmap. Let's begin this exciting exploration. Alright team, let's kick things off with the absolute cornerstone of any international travel, and especially for a career at sea, your passport. Now this might seem obvious, but there are nuances here that are critical for aspiring seafarers. It's not just about having a passport, it's about having one that meets specific requirements, primarily its validity. Cruise lines and maritime authorities will typically mandate that your passport is valid for at least 1 year, and sometimes even 18 months, from your intended date of joining the ship. This isn't an arbitrary rule, Dostan. Think about it. Your contract might be for 6, 8, or even 9 months. If there are delays, extensions, or unforeseen circumstances, you cannot risk your primary identification and travel document expiring while you're thousands of miles from home, traversing international waters. Your passport is your lifeline, your official identity in every port, with every immigration officer, and for the ship's manifest. It's the very first document any recruiter or company will ask about, so ensuring its long-term validity is step 0. It's non-negotiable. So before you even dream about which cruise line you want to join or what role you're aiming for, pull out your passport, check that expiry date. If it's nearing that 1 year from potential joining window, your immediate priority is to get it renewed. Don't let this fundamental requirement become a last-minute roadblock that delays your dream. Treat your passport not just as a travel document, but as the key that unlocks the door to your global career. Get this right, and you've taken a solid first step. Next up, we have a document that might be unfamiliar to those new to the maritime world, but it's absolutely essential. The Seaman's Book, also known as a Continuous Discharge Certificate, or CDC. Think of this, Dostan, as your official, internationally recognized record of your sea service. It's like a professional mariner's resume and logbook, all rolled into one. Every time you join a ship, sign on, and every time you leave a ship, sign off. It's meticulously recorded in your CDC. This document is a testament to your experience and your career progression at sea. This isn't just a nice to have, it's a mandatory requirement for virtually all positions on board a commercial vessel, including cruise ships. The CDC serves multiple purposes. It's an identity document specifically for seafarers. It helps in visa applications for certain countries, and it provides authorities with a clear history of your service. If you're new to the industry and don't have one, please don't panic. This is a common situation for first-timers. The cruise line you're selected by, or the recruitment agency handling your application, will typically guide you through the process of obtaining your first CDC. They understand that new entrants need assistance. and they have established procedures to help you apply for it from the maritime authority of your country or a flag state that issues them. The process usually involves submitting an application, providing necessary documents like your passport and STCW certificates, which we'll talk about next, and sometimes undergoing a basic medical check. So while it's a crucial document, its acquisition is a guided process for newcomers. Focus on securing your job offer, and the CDC will follow as part of your onboarding. Now, let's talk about something that is at the absolute core of life and work at sea safety. The STCW Basic Safety Training Certificate is a non-negotiable, mandatory requirement under the International Maritime Organization's IMO regulations. STCW stands for Standards of Training, Certification and Watchkeeping for Seafarers. This isn't just another certificate, guys. This is about equipping you with fundamental life-saving skills and knowledge. It's about ensuring your own safety, the safety of your fellow crew members, and the safety of the thousands of passengers on board. This training typically encompasses several key modules. First, there's personal survival techniques. This is where you learn how to survive at sea in case of ship abandonment, using life rafts, life jackets, and other survival equipment. Then, there's fire prevention and firefighting. You'll learn the theory of fire, how to prevent it, and critically, how to fight fires using various equipment. Elementary first aid is another crucial component, teaching you basic medical response in emergencies. And finally, personal safety and social responsibilities, PSSR, covers aspects like human relationships, pollution prevention, and safe working practices. You'll need to complete these courses at an approved maritime training institute. These aren't just classroom sessions, they involve practical hands-on training. You'll be in a pool, you'll be handling fire extinguishers. It's intense, but it's also incredibly empowering. This certificate is internationally recognized and is valid for 5 years, after which you'll need to do a refresher course. Cruise lines will not even consider your application without a valid STCW Basic Safety Training Certificate. It's a testament to your commitment to safety and professionalism in the maritime domain. Moving on to another critical aspect of your preparation, your health and physical fitness. To work on a cruise ship, you must pass a comprehensive medical examination conducted by an authorized seafarer doctor. This results in a medical fitness certificate, often referred to as a Seafarer Medical Certificate or an ENG1 in the UK system, for example. But many flag states have their own equivalent. This isn't just a routine checkup, Doston. It's a thorough assessment to confirm that you are medically fit for the demanding duties and unique environment of sea service. The medical examination is quite extensive. It typically includes a physical examination, vision tests including color vision, which is crucial for many roles, hearing tests, dental checkups, blood tests, urine tests, and sometimes a chest X-ray or other specific tests depending on the cruise line's requirements and the flag state of the vessel. The purpose is to ensure that you don't have any underlying medical conditions that could be exacerbated by life at sea, or that could pose a risk to yourself or others on board, especially considering that medical facilities on a ship, while good, are not as comprehensive as a land-based hospital. It's important to be completely honest during your medical declaration. If you have pre-existing conditions, disclose them. The doctor will assess if they are manageable at sea. Remember, the ship can be far from advanced medical care, so your fitness is paramount. This certificate usually has a validity of 2 years, or 1 year if you are under 18. Without this clean bill of health from an approved doctor, you simply won't be allowed to join the vessel. So, maintaining good health leading up to this examination is definitely in your best interest. Alongside your general medical fitness, specific immunizations are a key requirement for anyone wanting to work in the international and often close-quartered environment of a cruise ship. You'll need to provide up-to-date vaccination records, and this is something cruise lines take very seriously to protect the health of everyone on board, both crew and passengers. Think of it as creating a shield of immunity for the entire shipboard community, which travels across diverse geographical regions with varying health landscapes. The list of commonly required vaccinations can be quite extensive. Yellow fever vaccination is often mandatory, especially if the ship's itinerary includes or has recently visited countries where yellow fever is endemic. You'll receive an international certificate of vaccination or prophylaxis, often called the yellow card for this. Other common requirements include vaccinations against hepatitis A and B, influenza, often an annual requirement, tetanus, usually as part of Tdap or TD, MMR, measles, mumps, rubella, and varicella chickenpox. Some cruise lines may also require or recommend others depending on their specific routes and health policies. It's crucial to consult the specific requirements of the cruise line you are applying to, as they can vary. Start this process well in advance, as some vaccinations require a series of doses spaced out over weeks or even months. Keep meticulous records of all your vaccinations, signed and stamped by the administering medical professional. This isn't just about ticking a box. It's about responsible travel and employment, ensuring you are protected and you're not posing a risk to a diverse international community. Your health and the health of others is a top priority at sea. Now, let's discuss a requirement that pertains to your background and character, the Police Clearance Certificate, or PCC. This is also sometimes known as a Certificate of Good Conduct or a criminal record check. Essentially, cruise lines and maritime authorities need to ensure that individuals working on board their vessels, who will be interacting with passengers and fellow crew members from all over the world, have a clean criminal record. This is a standard security and safety measure in an industry that prioritizes the well-being and security of everyone. Obtaining a PCC usually involves applying to your local or national police authority in your country of residence, and sometimes from countries where you have lived for a significant period. The process will vary depending on your country, but it generally requires you to submit an application form, provide identification documents, and sometimes fingerprints. The certificate, once issued, confirms whether or not you have any criminal convictions recorded against you. It's a straightforward process for most people, but it's one that requires your attention and timely action. Cruise companies operate in a high-trust environment. You're living and working in close proximity with thousands of people, and the safety and security of passengers and crew are paramount. Therefore, a clear PCC is almost always a non-negotiable condition of employment. If you have any concerns about this, it's best to be upfront with the recruitment agency early in the process. Start applying for your PCC as soon as you begin the job application process, as it can sometimes take a few weeks to be issued. This document is another key piece of the puzzle in demonstrating your suitability for a responsible role at sea. Chapter 7. Access to America, the C1/D visa requirement. For many aspiring cruise ship employees, a significant portion of their itineraries will involve docking at United States ports. If this is the case for the cruise line and ship you're aiming for, then you'll absolutely need a specific type of American visa, the C1/D visa. This is a combination of a transit visa, C1, and a crew member visa, D. It's specifically designed for individuals working on international airlines or sea vessels that enter the United States. This visa is crucial because without it, you simply won't be allowed to join a ship that has US ports on its itinerary. The application process for a C1/D visa typically involves completing an online application form, the DS-160, paying a visa fee, and attending an in-person interview at a US embassy or consulate. During the interview, you'll need to demonstrate that you meet the eligibility criteria, including proving your employment or offer of employment from the cruise line, your intention to depart the United States with the vessel, and that you have sufficient ties to your home country. The cruise line or your recruitment agency will usually provide you with a letter of employment and other supporting documents to aid your application. It's very important, Doston, to be well prepared for this visa interview. Answer questions honestly and confidently. The consular officers are looking to ensure you are a genuine crew member and not attempting to use the visa for other purposes. The C1/D visa is often issued for a period that covers your contract and sometimes longer, but its validity can vary. This visa is a critical gateway, especially for Caribbean, Alaskan, and many transatlantic or trans-Pacific routes. So if the United States is on your ship's map, the C1/D is on your essential checklist. The age factor minimum age requirements. Let's talk about age because this is a question that often comes up. Is there a minimum age to work on a cruise ship? The short answer is yes, there generally is. For most positions on board, especially those involving guest interaction, serving alcohol, or having significant responsibilities, the minimum age requirement is typically 21 years. This is a fairly standard rule across many major cruise lines globally. It aligns with international labor laws and often with the legal drinking age in many of the jurisdictions where ships operate or are registered. However, there can be some flexibility depending on the specific role and the cruise line's policy. Some entry-level positions, perhaps in housekeeping support, as junior galley staff, or in certain entertainment roles, like junior dancers or musicians if they are part of a larger troupe and well supervised, might occasionally accept candidates who are 18 years or older. But these are more the exception than the rule for the broader range of jobs available. The 21-year mark is a much more common baseline. So, if you're currently under 21 but dreaming of a cruise ship career, don't be disheartened. Use this time wisely. Focus on gaining relevant skills, perhaps in hospitality, customer service, or a specific trade that's applicable on board. You can work on your language proficiency, complete your STCW training if you're old enough for that, and generally prepare yourself so that when you do reach the eligible age, you are a very strong candidate. Age is a factor, but it's one you can plan around. Patience and preparation are key here. Chapter 9. The Lingua Franca of the Seas, English Language Proficiency. In the incredibly diverse, multinational environment of a cruise ship, clear and effective communication is absolutely paramount. And the primary language used on board for operations, safety procedures, training, and in most cases, guest interaction is English. Therefore, fluency in English, or at least a very strong working proficiency, is an essential requirement for almost every single role on a cruise ship, from the captain to the utility cleaner. This isn't about cultural preference, it's about practicality, safety, and operational efficiency. Imagine an emergency situation. Instructions need to be given and understood quickly and accurately by everyone, regardless of their native tongue. English serves as that common bridge. Training materials, safety drills, daily briefings, all are predominantly conducted in English. Furthermore, for guest-facing roles, you'll be interacting with passengers from various English-speaking countries, or those who use English as a common language for travel. Your ability to understand their needs, answer their questions, and provide excellent service hinges on your English skills. So, what level of proficiency are we talking about? Generally, you need to be able to speak, understand, read, and preferably write English effectively. For some roles, conversational English might suffice, but for others, especially those with more responsibility or direct guest contact, a higher level of fluency will be expected. If English isn't your first language, now is the time to invest in improving it. Take classes, practice speaking, watch English language media. Your ability to communicate clearly in English will significantly enhance your employability and your experience working on board. When you work on a cruise ship, especially in a guest-facing role, you are an ambassador for the cruise line. Your appearance reflects on the company's brand and the overall guest experience. Because of this, most cruise lines have specific appearance standards and grooming guidelines that all crew members are expected to adhere to, particularly when in uniform and in passenger areas. These standards are generally in place to maintain a professional, consistent, and often conservative image. One of the most frequently discussed aspects of appearance standards relates to tattoos and piercings. Many cruise lines have a policy that requires no visible tattoos when you are wearing your uniform. This means if you have tattoos on your hands, face, neck, or sometimes even forearms, depending on the sleeve length of the uniform, it could be a barrier to employment for certain roles or with certain companies. Similarly, facial piercings, other than perhaps a discreet pair of earrings for female staff, are often not permitted while on duty. These policies can vary from cruise line to cruise line, and sometimes even by department within a ship. Some are becoming slightly more relaxed, but it's crucial to check the specific guidelines of the company you're applying to. If you have visible tattoos, it's best to be upfront about them during the application process. The emphasis is always on a neat, tidy, and professional appearance. This includes well-groomed hair, clean and pressed uniforms, and appropriate personal hygiene. It's all part of creating that polished image that cruise guests expect. Now, let's address a common concern. How much experience do you actually need to land a job on a cruise ship? It's true that prior experience in fields like hospitality, customer service, retail, or specific maritime roles can be highly advantageous and will certainly make your application stand out, especially for supervisory or specialized positions. If you've worked in a busy hotel reception, as a chef in a high-volume kitchen, or as a retail sales associate, these skills are directly transferable and highly valued. However, Doston, and this is important, don't be discouraged if you don't have years of direct industry experience. Many cruise lines offer a variety of entry-level positions that are perfect for individuals who are hardworking, enthusiastic, and willing to learn. Roles in housekeeping, as utility cleaners in the galley or food and beverage areas, assistant waiter positions, or even some junior roles in the youth activities department might be accessible to those with a great attitude and a strong work ethic, even without extensive prior experience. The key is to identify your transferable skills. Perhaps you've volunteered at events, showcasing your customer service abilities. Maybe you've worked in a team environment in a completely different sector, demonstrating your collaborative skills. Cruise lines look for potential. They look for people who are adaptable, resilient, and have a genuine passion for service. So, while direct experience helps, a positive attitude, a willingness to undergo training, and the ability to clearly articulate your transferable skills can open doors even for newcomers. Once you have a good understanding of the general requirements, the next crucial step is to do your homework on the cruise lines themselves. Not all cruise lines are the same, Doston. They differ in size, the types of itineraries they offer, luxury, adventure, family-focused, budget, their company culture, the demographics of their passengers, and consequently, the types of job opportunities available and the work environment on board. Researching these aspects will help you identify which companies align best with your career goals and personal preferences. Start by visiting the official websites of major cruise lines. Companies like Carnival Cruise Line, Royal Caribbean International, Norwegian Cruise Line, Princess Cruises, Holland America Line, Celebrity Cruises, MSC Cruises, Disney Cruise Line, and many others have dedicated careers or work with us sections. These sections are gold mines of information. You'll find details about life on board, the values of the company, testimonials from current employees, and most importantly, listings of current job openings across various departments: deck, engine, hotel operations, food and beverage, entertainment, and more. Pay attention to the specific requirements listed for the jobs you're interested in. Look at the destinations they sail to. Does that appeal to you? Read about their fleet. Are they mega ships or smaller, more intimate vessels? Some people thrive in the bustling environment of a large ship with thousands of crew and passengers, while others might prefer a smaller ship. Understanding these nuances will not only help you tailor your application, but also ensure you're targeting companies where you're likely to be a good fit and enjoy your experience. Your resume, or CV, is your primary marketing tool in your job search. For a cruise ship application, it needs to be tailored, professional, and effectively highlight why you are a great candidate for a life and career at sea. Even if your past experiences aren't directly in the maritime or high-end hospitality sectors, the way you present your skills and accomplishments can make a significant difference. Recruiters often spend only a few seconds initially scanning a resume, so it needs to make an immediate positive impression. Start with your contact information, ensuring it's accurate and professional. Include a clear objective or summary statement that briefly outlines your career goal and your interest in working for that specific cruise line. When listing your work experience, don't just state your duties. Focus on your achievements and use action verbs. Quantify your accomplishments whenever possible. For instance, Instead of saying handled customer complaints, you could say resolved an average of 15+ customer issues daily, consistently achieving a 90% satisfaction rating. This shows impact. Crucially, highlight transferable skills. Teamwork, communication, problem-solving, adaptability, customer service orientation, ability to work under pressure, attention to detail. These are all highly valued on a cruise ship. Even if you learned these skills in a retail job, a call center, or through volunteer work, make sure they shine through. Tailor your resume for each specific role or cruise line you apply to, emphasizing the skills and experiences most relevant to their requirements. And please, Doston, proofread it meticulously for any errors in grammar or spelling. Once your resume is polished and you've identified the cruise lines and roles you're interested in, it's time to officially apply. The vast majority of cruise ship recruitment is now done online. You'll either apply directly through the cruise line's official career portal or via authorized and reputable recruitment agencies that partner with these cruise lines. It's very important to ensure you are using legitimate channels to avoid scams. Always double-check that the website is the official one or that the agency is recognized by the cruise line. When applying online, be prepared to fill out detailed application forms. These can sometimes be quite extensive, asking for your complete work history, educational background, references, and copies of your documents like your passport and any relevant certificates you already possess. Take your time to fill these out accurately and completely. Rushing through this stage can lead to errors or omissions that might get your application overlooked. Many systems use applicant tracking systems, ATS, that scan for keywords, so ensure your application reflects the language used in the job description. Some cruise lines also utilize specialized maritime recruitment platforms. Do your research to see which platforms are commonly used in the industry. When dealing with recruitment agencies, understand that they often specialize in certain departments, like hotel staff, medical staff, deck and engine crew, or cater to specific cruise lines. Find agencies that are relevant to your skill set and desired role. Keep track of your applications, which company, which role, when you applied. This organized approach will be very helpful as you progress through the hiring process. Congratulations! Your application has caught their eye, and you've been invited for an interview. This is your golden opportunity to truly shine and convince the recruiters that you are the right person for the job and for life on board. Cruise ship interviews can be conducted in various formats. It might be a phone screening initially, followed by a video interview, which is very common now, or an in-person interview, especially if the cruise line or their partner agency has recruitment events in your region. Preparation is absolutely key, Doston. Research the cruise line thoroughly, their values, their ships, their target audience. Understand the specific role you're applying for inside out. Be prepared to answer common interview questions like tell me about yourself, why do you want to work on a cruise ship, what are your strengths and weaknesses, and situational questions like how would you handle a difficult guest, or describe a time you worked effectively in a team. Practice your answers, but don't make them sound robotic. Let your personality come through. Dress professionally, even for a video interview. Ensure you have a quiet environment with a stable internet connection if it's online. Listen carefully to the questions and answer thoughtfully and honestly. Emphasize your customer service skills, your adaptability, your enthusiasm for travel, and your understanding that working on a ship is demanding but rewarding. Ask intelligent questions at the end of the interview. It shows your genuine interest. Remember, they are not just assessing your skills, but also your personality and your suitability for living and working in a close-knit, multicultural community. So, there you have it, team. A comprehensive guide to the essential documents and steps required to embark on an incredible career journey working on a cruise ship. It might seem like a long list, a lot of hoops to jump through, from passports and medicals to visas and specific training, and yes, it does require diligence, patience, and a proactive approach. But I want you to see this not as a series of obstacles, but as a series of gateways, each one taking you closer to an experience that can genuinely transform your life. This path is about more than just a job. It's about embracing a lifestyle of adventure, global exploration, and continuous personal and professional growth. You'll meet people from every corner of the earth, experience cultures firsthand, and develop skills that will serve you well wherever life takes you next. The journey to get there is part of that adventure, teaching you resilience and attention to detail from the very start. Every certificate obtained, every form filled, is a step towards that first breathtaking view from the deck of your new floating home. I truly believe that if this is your dream, it is within your reach. Use this guide, do your research, prepare diligently, and approach the process with a positive and determined mindset. The world of cruise ships offers unparalleled opportunities, and I hope this video has equipped you with the clarity and confidence to pursue them. If you found this helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more career insights, and share it with anyone else who dreams of sailing the seven seas. I'm Ajit Pratap, wishing you fair winds and following seas on your journey.